Okay, it has already begun this morning. It is Thursday. I loaded her office chair down to storage. I put a note on it saying it's not abandoned. I locked it to the wall so that she can unlock it, nobody can take it. I've moved as much of her stuff out as I can. And just to add a little bit of tension, she just texted and said, I'm parking at the condo today. I'm not gonna reply, I'm just gonna get out of here, and when she says something about trying to meet, I will reply and say, I can't meet with you today. I'm nervous, I'm really nervous, but I'm also late for school, so I gotta go for now. I feel like I've lit the fuse on something really big. I'm legitimately nervous. So nervous so that I left my lunch in the storage space, so I guess those spring rolls aren't gonna be good anymore. I don't know, like, it's all founded, it's all justified. I feel really sure of everything I've done, but I'm still nervous because I think the blowback's gonna be worse than I think it is. Time to go to school. Holy shit, this day is crazy. At about 9:48 this morning, she texted me and said, hey, I went up to see Winnie, or I went up to let Winnie out in the hallway. Did you change the locks? So I wrote back a very courteous thing saying, yes, because even though we had an agreement, she continually threatens to go in the place when I'm not there, and I don't feel respected. So I had the door locks changed. That's what I've done. And then I said, so as not to be an inconvenience, I moved the chair you want down to the storage space. It is secured, and I moved as much of your stuff downstairs as I could. I put it in brand new clean containers that I paid for. So when you're done with them, I'd like them back. So when I have to move, I have containers. And she has gone I'll have to read it to you what she said, but basically it's a huge F you. If I wanted to completely push her away, I have. She said something like, I guess it's time to move the fuck on. And it's like, you did that weeks ago when you broke up with me and started boning someone new. This is a crazy day. I got a call while I was recording before, and then I just came home. I went for a run to kind of clear my head and get straight, and I took a shower, and now I've got the dog and I'm leaving. And I'm afraid she's gonna drive down at any time. She's called me a couple times and texted. It's a couple hours since she's seen the doors were locked, or that I changed the lock, and she's already had a conversation with the realtor about, and she texted me saying, like, the realtor said it's a good market, we should really talk about a lot of things. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not talking to you today. This is crazy. So we're gonna let this one simmer a little bit. I'm just leaving the house. I guess I'm gonna start by going to school and then just go wherever. I just need to not be here because I don't know what she's capable of. Oof. I have not gotten a lot of time to talk, but let me see what I can do right now. Hard day. We started this morning with she continually violates or threatens to violate the agreement by going into our house. I asked her not to do that because it's really uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to try and be okay in a space that she and I used to live in together, knowing that at any time she can just come in and take things out of it and move things around. She has moved on to a space that is secure. She lives at his house, a place that I'm not welcome to go into. I'm not even really sure where it is. I'm not allowed to go there. Like, it's her new space with him. But her old space with me, she feels free to come and go as she wants, with the caveat now of having to tell me she's coming and going as she wants. But if she's at all unhappy with me, she'll just do it. I don't like that. And when she got threatened the other day by the fact that I had liked her new boyfriend's ex-girlfriend's Instagram posts, she said she was coming to the house while I was at work to take her stuff, and it didn't really matter whether or not I had any feelings about it. She didn't do that. Today at 9:50, she found out that I had changed the locks. I told her I had. I told her, so as not to cause her inconvenience, I had put a bunch of her things in brand new containers from the container store. They weren't dirty or dusty or whatever. Brand new, I bought them, and I packed her stuff carefully into those containers, and I moved them down to her storage space. You know about the containers. You've been to the container store with me a couple times. And I said, I put as much as I can down there. And when you're done moving, I'd like the containers back so that when it's my turn to move, she went berserk. She went really... Yeah, it wasn't good. But let me review Let me review what she said. I'll be right back. You'll have to forgive the teleprompting. It was a lot to process, so I have it nearby so I can refer to it. Basically, she didn't like that I changed the locks, regardless of my reasons. She started out by telling me I can't do it because she pays the mortgage. So she took the legal approach. And she told me not to touch her things, that she would take them out herself. If my goal was to... What was it? If my goal was to completely push her away, congratulations, I had succeeded. Yeah, I can't believe you touched my things and put them in storage and locked me out with my dog inside. So she's gone back to calling the dog her dog as opposed to the dog that she's given me. And then this is where it really escalated. 20 minutes after she couldn't get into the condo. And that's all that happened. She found out that the locks were changed and I'd moved her things downstairs. She contacted the realtor and told him, Ken and I are getting a divorce. We need to sell our condo. 20 minutes. She didn't even process. It was just like reflex. Hi, we're getting a divorce. We need to sell the condo. And I don't feel like that's consistent with the her I know, because she doesn't like to put her business out there. She's a pretty private person. So the fact that she told the realtor we're getting a divorce is really drastic. The other part of it, and this I keep thinking about, our realtor happens to be married to the woman that owns the bar method that I go to. So telling him that we're getting divorced means she'll know that we're getting divorced, which means perhaps she'll tell other people that we're getting divorced. So I don't know if she's just trying to make me look bad in the community of people where I go to the gym, where she used to go to the gym, but now she doesn't because she lives much farther north. I don't know. It seemed really unkind and not classy and not the way that the woman I'm married to would have done things. But yeah, so within 20 minutes, she told the realtor and she got in touch with the mediator saying, we're ready to move forward with mediation. She looped me in on emails to both of those people. Yeah, and then she said, thanks for the giant you by locking me out of the condo. And then my favorite was, she says, I guess it's time for me to move the fuck on. Which really made me wonder, what did she do 6 weeks ago when she broke up with me, broke my heart, tore my life apart, and moved out? That really seemed like she moved the fuck on that day, that week, these past weeks. Yeah, but I guess today, me changing the locks was really the impetus she needed to move the fuck on. Cool. She told me I can move out, and then she told me that if she has to, she'll get a sheriff's deputy and a locksmith to come in and change the lock. So those were some of the fun things. We went from locked out to bringing the cops in to get her back in the place. At no point did she ask me, can I have a key? Can I have a key? Can I get in? Because it's not like I said, no, you can't get in the condo. I've been very, very accommodating. I don't think she realizes how long the locks have been changed. It's been almost 2 weeks. Ever since the day she had the freak out where she just went in the condo and waited for me, I changed the locks that day because she seemed unstable and I didn't feel safe, to be quite honest. Disrespecting our agreement is also a thing, but I don't know if she's just in love with someone else or if she's a little off and she could come in the condo, and I don't like that. Yeah, that was hard. Then there were a series of phone calls, and what's funny is the texts have a bit of aggression to them, and when she's on voicemail, she's very much more measured, which makes me think she's thinking forward to me saving these voicemails and playing them for someone. So she's way more in control on the voicemails. And the first one was very legal, saying, I can't do that, legally, I can't change the locks, blah, blah, blah. I don't honestly care. I change the locks to feel safe. If I have to give her a key, that's okay. It's not a really big deal. She doesn't have stuff in the place anymore. So if she wants to see the dog, oh yeah, she left a more, a bigger voicemail. This was later in the day, maybe when she'd had time to think about it a little bit, saying, I complain that she doesn't talk to me and doesn't tell me things, when all she's doing right now is trying to get in touch with me. And the interesting thing is, she was trying to get in touch with me for 6 hours. This all transpired at 10 a.m. I responded and said, yes, I had changed the locks at 10 a.m. This phone call came through at, about 4 p.m. So 6 hours later, she called and said this was her trying to talk to me, but I had ignored her text and wasn't taking her calls and had been ghosting her. And I don't technically, I don't think you can be ghosting someone in 6 hours. I have a job. Like, I was working all day, so I left school and didn't immediately call her. Oh no, she's not getting what she wants. We really need to talk about things. Blah, like, it was basically that. This was her reaching out, and I'm bad because I wasn't responding. And that's okay. So I just chilled. I came over to school to do some work. And that was good. I was working along. Then I checked my email. And this is sort of like stage 3. Stage 1 was angry text, and then text that got progressively less angry and a little more like, we should work together on this. The realtor said, oh yeah, she had a whole phone call with the realtor already today. And the realtor said, it's a really good market, so we should talk about selling the condo. No, I'm not having that conversation right now. This is all a reaction to, God, this is all a reaction to the locks on the door. This is crazy. A friend of mine, a very, very wise friend, said, you know, all these texts and all these feelings, it's like she had loaded in her gun and she was just waiting for the moment when she could shoot them. And my changing the locks was the impetus she needed to just fire all this crap out. And I agree. I really feel like that's what happened today. So I checked my email. The email I got, I was not prepared for. Oh God, this is a hard one. I don't think I can, it's really hard. And here's what's hard about it. It's the kind of email I want to get, and I want to hear, and I want to believe, and I can't trust her anymore. I can't trust that she's not trying to manipulate me. She wants to get divorced. She wants to do mediation. And I'm not responding to her text today because she's aggressive and mean and all over the place, and I don't think anything good's going to come from it. So she tried the angry tactic, she tried the more progressive tactic, and then I feel like she dug deep and tried the emotional tactic. And you know what? Let's try it. So she said, "Hi, I want you to know first and foremost that I love you. In fact, I love you so much that I considered sacrificing my own happiness for yours. I thought that I couldn't live with the pain of hurting you, and I loved you more than I loved myself, so I believed I should stay and suppress my feelings. Stay so I could make you happy forever, but I don't think that was a sustainable option." So, when she had feelings for somebody else, she considered staying with me even though she had feelings for somebody else. See, that's the crux of this. She feels entitled to act on those feelings because she had feelings. And I feel like most adults realize that sometimes they might have feelings for somebody else, and you don't act on them because you're married, because you took vows. Like, you just don't. They're feelings. But she feels entitled because she never had feelings for anybody else when we were together. But I'll continue. The amount of pain and guilt that I feel is unbearable a lot of the time. It really is. We were so happy and loved each other so much. True. We were so compatible and so much better than everyone else. I kind of agree. How could I have done this to us? Why did this happen to us? Well, I don't know how she could have done this to us. And this didn't happen to us. She did it. She planned it and she did it. I don't know. I don't know why I feel this way. I don't know why I fell in love with Nick. I don't know why all of this happened to us. It happened because she did it. But it did. And here we are, in a place I was 100% sure we would never be. In a place I never wanted to be. If you didn't want to be here, you didn't have to be here. It really is that simple. I don't want us to burn down everything we had. I'm terrified. I want to protect you, not hurt you, honestly. I know I've hurt you in unimaginable ways, but I didn't want to. I never wanted to hurt you, and I still don't. Your pain is my pain, and it kills me. I don't believe you. Locking me out of the condo felt malicious, and I hope that it wasn't, but it felt like you wanted to hurt me. Those types of actions, contacting ghosting me, changing the locks, not letting me see Winnie, throwing my stuff out of the condo without asking me, feel cruel. They make me get scared and confused and defensive. It makes me feel like I don't know you and that you're not being forthcoming with me. Do you hear the language that's being used? Throwing her stuff out of the condo. I spent a fair amount of cash on Container Store containers. There was no throwing. It was all carefully packed. What else did she say? Not letting me see Winnie. That's simply not true. There was one day she wanted to come over that I wasn't home, and I said it wasn't a good day. There has been no other time when I've refused her access to the dog or the house. It's just simply not true. So all that feels cruel. It's not cruel. It's me trying to live. All right, and then we move on. This isn't us. We are so much better than this. And here's what's interesting. When I talked to her 2 days ago about Rick, and I said something about us, she said to me in a very loud voice, "There's no more us." But today, when it suits her, this isn't us. There's an us. We are so much better than this. I don't want to burn down our bridges forever. Second time she talks about burning bridges. I don't want to burn down our bridges forever. I don't think you want that either. We are both mourning the loss of each other. I know you say you don't believe me, but I hope deep down that you know I am. How could I not be? So much of this is puzzling. You and I were such amazing partners. Our lives were so good. We both miss each other and are getting over the shock of losing our whole lives and our best friends. I'm getting over the shock. She planned it. She knew it was coming. So she somehow thinks we're equals in this. We're not. And I said this to her the other day too, when she tried to make us equals. I woke up the other morning so sad and missing her terribly. She woke up the other morning looking at her boyfriend in bed. Not the same. You are not alone in this. Please don't push me away in a way that will destroy everything. Please communicate with me instead of lashing out behind my back. Please work with me on all of this. I really don't want to burn down our whole lives together. I will always love you, and I don't want us to keep hurting each other. Please call me so we can talk. Yeah. What heartbroken person such as myself doesn't want to get an email like that? Of course that's what I want to hear. Of course I want to hear that she loves me. She calls out all the good things about us and then tells me, but I don't want it. Then why are you telling me this? I know how amazing we were. You recognizing it helps nothing. Like, you don't want it. You want something else. And that's what hurts so bad. And I just explained this to my friend. I'm amazing in a relationship. I'm a really fantastic partner. And this isn't ego, this isn't defense. I'm a really good partner. I'm weird and I'm funny and I'm kind and I'm thoughtful and I'm really observant and I know how to cook. I'm not a good dancer. I'm not a good dancer. But I try everything really hard, and I have the capacity to change and grow and adapt. I don't want to find somebody new, but it seems I'm going that direction. And when somebody takes a chance on me, or when somebody loves me, it will be incredible. So what I don't understand is knowing that about me, knowing I would do anything for her, knowing all the things she said, what an amazing relationship we had for 7 years, knowing all of that. How is it better with him? They've only been together for a few weeks. Or, God, who knows, maybe longer. But how is it better? How is it worth burning it all? If she loves me and will always love me, and I'm the best person she knows, how is it better with him? Is it sex? Is it infatuation? But how is it better? I'm alone and trying to make sense of my life. And metaphorically, she's holding hands with him and planning a new life together. It's not fair. She's just walking away from me, and in her perspective, she's walking towards something with someone else. That's the part that's not fair. So I don't know what I'm going to do. God, I've been talking for 20 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know when I'm going to respond to her. I have nothing to say right now. That email flattened me. It devastated me. It made me feel terrible because I don't trust her. I don't think it's honest. I think it's her just trying to get control. She doesn't like when I don't respond to her. And I think that email was designed to get me to feel something and respond. And I'm just not going to. There's nothing to say. I could refute her points, which would just lead to a heated conversation, which would just show her that I care. She knows I care. She doesn't need evidence of it. She knows I love her. She doesn't need to hear me say it. I think what she'd like is to hug me tight and have me show that I love her by kissing her neck, or kissing her ear, or kissing the side of her face. That's what she'd like. And then she could very comfortably walk away knowing she's still got me. She could still have me, but she doesn't want it. She wants to know that she could. She wants the power. Not tonight.